Now on Coast TV News.
Lewis shoreline shakeup. The new idea city officials are weighing as they look ahead to the coming beach season. Plus, World AIDS Day recognized how Rehoboth Beach honored those lost and how they're working for a better future.
It's a sunny, chilly, dry start to December, but I'm tracking some changes into our Tuesday heavy rainfall. The latest timing and totals next.
This is Coast TV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Monday, December 1st. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to Coast TV News Midday. Starting off this morning by taking a live look out into Rehoboth Beach, and it's a beautiful sunny day. There's something that just feels so right about starting the first day of the month on the first day of the work week. It's a Monday, and Chris, we got nice weather now, but you're saying that could change over the next 24 hours.
That's right, Grace. We have some unsettled weather rolling into the Delmarva Peninsula. That arrives tomorrow morning, and it will be in the form of rain, believe it or not, as cold as it's been. Taking a live look into Cambridge with the bright blue skies there, 43 degrees. So it's really nice out there. Still on the chilly side. We're at 42 Millsboro, 42 Bethany Beach, 41 in Lewis. You can see the wind flow out of the north. So we're seeing some gusts upwards of 24, Georgetown 21 in Salisbury. Wind chills are in the mid 30s, so nothing terribly crazy out there. High pressure off to our west will continue sliding eastward, so we're pretty quiet at the moment. But here's our storm system beginning to take shape. Snow, ice, and rain, and that is all making a beeline to the east. So we stay dry through the afternoon. We'll top out in the mid 40s. Heading out to Rehoboth this evening, looking very nice. Clear skies, but it'll be a cold night ahead of that moisture that's going to be building in overnight. We have a yellow alert in play for Tuesday. We could begin as a brief period of sleep, but for the most part, this is a rain event for us, and that rain will be heavy at times through the morning into the early part of the afternoon. And then we're going to dry out into Wednesday, but stay rather cold, and then we could be dealing with yet another system by Friday into Saturday. We'll talk more about the system heading in tomorrow and how much rain we expect to see in that full forecast here in a little bit. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. Today marks World AIDS Day. The occasion was recognized on Sunday, November 30th, with a special service at All Saints Church in Rehoboth Beach. And this year's theme, Living in a World with HIV, honored those lost to AIDS and recognized the strength of those living with HIV. Camp Rehoboth once again displayed a portion of the AIDS Memorial quilt, and that quilt is on display today at the church until 4 p.m. And Camp Rehoboth also offering HIV testing. Happening now in Lewis, the city is expected to take another look at their code when it comes to beach rules. According to the city's agenda, they will continue discussing feedback from the Parks and Recreation Commission about proposed changes to the section on beaches. And right now, some of the standing rules were adopted back in the 1970s, and there's a lot going on in there, including the rule against sleeping on the beach overnight and the ban prohibiting driving on the beach. The city meeting started just a few minutes ago at 11 a.m. And tonight, the future of residential development up for discussion in Millsboro. Town Council will hold a public hearing on proposed changes to rules governing lot sizes, widths, and setbacks. According to the agenda, these rules would apply to detached single-family homes, and Millsboro Town Council set to meet tonight at 7 p.m. Over in Ocean City, tonight the council will have its second reading to extend a moratorium on issuing short-term rental licenses. This is for some homes and mobile homes, and the moratorium could last until January of 2027. You may remember the town held a referendum earlier this year with voters rejecting permanent restrictions on short-term rentals, but the town can enact moratoriums like this. And also tonight in Ocean City, at that same council meeting, some fines could start to cost you a whole lot more. The town will have a public hearing this evening where potential increases will be discussed, which could affect things like parking violations, littering, public alcohol offenses, and more. The changes would increase the maximum fines for these municipal infractions and misdemeanors. For example, a noise complaint that currently carries a maximum fine of $1,000 could, under a new law, jump up to a maximum fine of $5,000. And one vacationer who's been visiting Ocean City for more than 30 years says the current maximum fine of $1,000 is already more than enough.
I feel that $1,000 is sufficient. I think $5,000 is kind of over the top on something like that. I don't think that needs to be implicated, putting $5,000 fine on something like that.
Now, although the maximum fines could be increasing, most fines in town will stay in a range of about $25 and up. That public hearing takes place tonight at 6 p.m. And MDOT says that their state highway administration is holding a second workshop on pedestrian safety in Worcester County. Now, the event runs Monday, December 8th from 5 to 7 at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center, where MDOT says they'll share new concepts, answer questions, and gather more community feedback. And recovery homes, as well as public help for the homeless, have been a hot topic in Georgetown over the last few months, with critics saying Georgetown has become overrun with addicts and homelessness. A 10-member committee appointed to tackle these issues will hold its fourth meeting tomorrow. Trish Hill, program manager for Springboard Delaware, says the group has made progress on some topics.
I think we're working very hard on trying to find some common ground. I do hope that there's success. I think that it is overwhelmingly understood that the recovery houses and transitional houses are doing really well at what they're doing. And it's a time when we're getting ready to move to the subject of homelessness.
The meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 2nd at 4 p.m. Stay with us on CoastTV News Midday, because after the break, growing scrutiny in Washington over vessel strikes, the sharp reactions from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, and how the president is responding.
Below average temperatures continue under sunny skies. Rain moves in Tuesday morning, and that rain will be heavy at times through at least the first part of our Tuesday. Jennifer Dickerson, congratulations from Laurel, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from CoastTV on my latest forecast here in just a few minutes.
Officials say that it killed survivors of an initial strike. We're talking about the Pentagon conducting a second strike on a boat the Trump administration says was carrying drugs from Venezuela. It was after the first strike on the boat that failed to kill all occupants of the vessel. That's according to sources. Now, NBC's Alice Barr showing us how the president is responding to questions and what reactions are coming from lawmakers.
This morning, a growing push for answers about the U.S. boat strikes off Venezuela targeting alleged drug smugglers. President Trump backing Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth amid new reporting the Pentagon carried out a second strike on a boat to kill survivors of the first hit.
Pete said that didn't happen.
Does that make you?
I have great confidence in it.
A U.S. official and a source familiar with the actions tell NBC News it happened on September 2nd, and the Washington Post, citing two sources, was first to report the second strike came because Secretary Hegseth had ordered all on board killed.
We'll look into it, but no, I wouldn't have wanted that, not a second strike.
Critics in Congress calling it a war crime.
So this rises to the level of a war crime if it's true. And the questions that we've been asking for months are, give us the evidence that the folks on board were really narco traffickers.
Now, Republican leaders of the Senate and House Armed Services Committees launching inquiries promising rigorous oversight.
If that occurred, that would be very serious, and I agree that would be an illegal act.
When people want to surrender, you don't kill them, and they have to pose an imminent threat.
The Homeland Security Secretary disputed the account, while Secretary Hegseth posted, "Our current operations in the Caribbean are lawful," and the Attorney General defended the administration's approach to fight drug cartels.
They are narco-terrorists. What you're showing on the screen right now are terrorists, and they are being blown up.
A series of U.S. boat strikes have killed more than 80 people over the past few months.
And coming up next, First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the CoastTV First Alert Weather Center. He's working on that soaking rain in our forecast. His full hit after this.
We have bright blue skies in Rehoboth Beach on this first full day of December, first day of meteorological winter and winter The winter solstice is in 20 days, so we have that to look forward to as this cold and active start to the month will be with us. And we're at 42 degrees in Rehoboth Beach. Temperatures right now are generally in the lower 40s. We're at 42 in Georgetown, 44, Seaford to 41 in Ocean City. Wind's not terribly bad. We're seeing some gusts 20 miles an hour at times out of the north. And as we put a bow on the month of November, we look at the month as a whole, we had 16 days below average. 12 of those were above average. So as a whole, we were slightly below average, but really the story was the rainfall. We were about 2 inches shy of where we should be. So we were rather dry for the month, and we're carrying that over into the month of December here. And so we need the precipitation, whether it comes in the form of rain or snow. Gale watch is up for the entire Atlantic coast from Rehoboth all the way down to Chincoteague, as well as along the bay. On the Chesapeake Bay, we have winter weather advisories, winter storm watches in effect well north of the I-95 corridor. That's where we expect the accumulating snow. High pressure in control now, but here is our winter storm beginning to take shape. Seeing snow across portions of Missouri, Arkansas, the ice and the rain, and all this is going to continue pushing eastward through the day today and develop into a storm that will be impacting the East Coast. You can see rain chances ramp up Tuesday, and that rain will be heavy at times. We stay dry and cold Wednesday through Thursday, and then we could have another system that impacts us Friday night. So we stay dry through the day today. High clouds will begin to increase late this afternoon through the evening, so we're dry. If you have any plans this evening, heading to the parade in Rehoboth, we're going to be dry, but cold. We stay dry through most of the overnight, but then by daybreak tomorrow, you see widespread rain. We could begin as a brief period of sleet. I think the best chance of that occurring would be northern portions of Delmarva, Newcastle County, northern midshore, but the rain really picks up in intensity. You can see the onshore wind, so mild air is going to work in, and we're going to push into the 40s to up to 50s across the area. That rain will continue at least through midday, and then I think by 3 o'clock, most of the rain is offshore. We clear out, and it turns blustery and cold. And there's a better look at that system moving through that rain snow line, pushing north of the 985 corridor, and you can see some heavy snow up through the Poconos. Good storm for the ski resorts across the interior northeast. We're looking at about an inch of rainfall as we go into Tuesday afternoon. Could see locally higher amounts. That wind coming off the ocean at the onset of tomorrow, but then by tomorrow afternoon, as those winds shift more out of the northwest, we gusts upwards of 30-35 miles an hour, and we're going to stay cold for most of the week. 43 Wednesday, another cold front will push through Thursday night, bringing in a reinforcing shot of cold air, and we could have some wintry precipitation as we get into Saturday morning. So I'll have to keep a close eye on that. 45. Mostly sunny, 30 overnight with that rain developing, 48, and that rain will be heavy at times. We have a yellow alert in play for Tuesday.
And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 6:30, it's a replay of the Y-High Winters Mill High School football game playoff, and then catch that final score at 10:30. And on DSN Plus, along with the Y-High game at 4:30 and 6 p.m., you can watch a Salisbury School take on Greenwood Mennonite School in basketball. Plus, here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Well, hopefully you had a restful and not so stressful holiday weekend. But if you join us here today at 4 on Coast Life, here is what's coming your way. You want to start your holiday shopping and you want to look fabulous at all your holiday parties? Well, you got to take a spin by Sugar and Thread. Also, it is a great time to give back to the community. Our friends at Preston Automotive Group couldn't agree more. They've got a way for you to give back as well. And it is the first week of a new month. That means another First Friday with our friends at the Art League of Ocean City. All of that and so much more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you there.
This year's Bless Our Children campaign is in full swing, but as you can see, we need your help to fill out this tree with cards and donations. We're raising money to make sure that every child has that special present to open during this Christmas time. And the card and donation we received this time that I'm going to tell you about got an adorable dog with a Santa hat. This is actually a special card because we do not know who sent it, but they did want to make their donation in honor of Billo Hickman of Ocean View. So we will put this card to honor Billo on our tree. Businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help, send a donation in a holiday card, and we may just read it on the air. Send a check or money order to the address on your screen, or you can donate online at blessourchildren.org.
We have already raised almost $154,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, we'd like to thank all who have donated. And the holiday season is here, which means so is the return of our holiday house. And this is where people can submit photos or videos of their holiday decorations, and we'll show them right here during our newscast. You can see this photo of decorations in the front yard of Bruce and Nancy Jones in Ocean City, and it's very fitting with the coastal theme. You can see Santa Claus with a palm tree to the left of your screen. These are beautiful Christmas decorations. Thank you again to Bruce and Nancy for sending this in. And if you'd like to send in your photos, you can head to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse. Taking a look across Delmarva, on your screen now are some photos from the annual Trees of Cheer event at the Beacon Inn in Lewis on Saturday. Families decorated 80 holiday trees for children staying at the Ronald McDonald House and for local families in need. Organizers say the event will raise $5,000, and that's enough to sponsor an entire room at the Ronald McDonald House for a full year. And with 59% of Delaware families who stay there coming from Sussex County, that support will go right back into helping neighbors close to home.
Get your latest forecast by dialing our First Alert weather phone, and your 10-day forecast shows that yellow alert in play for Tuesday. We'll have rain move in through the morning, and that rain will be heavy at times. We could start as a brief period of sleep, but this is primarily a rain event for us. The rain will taper off later on in the afternoon, upwards of an inch on average. Could see some locally higher amounts. We stay cold and dry. Wednesday, Thursday, we have a reinforcing shot of cold air comes in with a cold front. Wind chills Friday morning in the teens, and then watching yet another storm system that could bring some wintry precipitation late Friday into Saturday.
But no snow, Chris.
I
but
know.
No snow.
You want your big snowstorm. Still got
darn.
stuff to wait.
What are we gonna do? Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us at home for Coast TV News Midday. If you'd like more local news or some local weather, you can download your Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us right back here for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. And until then, have a great day.